Welcome, YouTube friends and family, to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So we do have a lot of newbies here, so if you're brand new to the channel, my name is Kim. I love all things vintage, mid-century, modern, etc. And I've been slowly chipping away at getting my Christmas decor up. So this year I'm kind of doing things a little bit differently. I am sticking to my favorite things instead of dragging out all of the things I have, which is a lot. I'm making it a little easier on myself. So today, y'all notice something? Well, besides the pledge here, my step back cupboard is empty. So what does that mean? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. Y'all, I've been out in the rain this morning. It was 53 degrees here yesterday, and right now it's 51. Wait, what? Welcome to Ohio, right? So layers are a good thing when we're having these ups and downs, but this is the last day it's going to be even reasonably nice, and then we'll be back down into the teens for lows. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit, and then we're going to do some decorating about my vintage 50s, 60s ceramic Christmas collection, how I got started, a little bit of history about some of the pieces, value of some of the pieces, even we'll have to do some lookup. And it's been many, many, many years since I acquired the majority of this. So how did I get started? Well, not this mug, so let me share that. Can y'all see the crazing? This one's quite old. So my grandma Victoria had a Santa mug that had blue jewel eyes, I guess you would call it. I mean, they weren't real jewels, of course. And I can remember, I have the cabinet now, but I can remember being very little and, you know, not so tall, and seeing those little twinkling eyes looking at me. And I thought it was the most beautiful thing that I had ever seen. Now, some of you have asked, whatever happened to your grandma's stuff? Well, y'all, my grandma passed away very unexpectedly, and my grandpa, her husband, was so angry for a while and bitter. He eventually remarried, and I had a lovely step-grandma that he just divested himself of things that were near and dear to my grandma's heart. Am I mad about it? Absolutely not. You know, that those were his belongings after my grandma passed to do with as he wished. I did get a lot of her quilts, so I'm happy about that. She had one of those pom-pom aluminum trees that sat in a 1950s table that was, oh, I don't know, 3 feet or so across with the little skinny legs that went out. And it was right in front of their picture window. And she would decorate it with all manner of shiny, bright type ornaments. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what happened to all that. You know, y'all, I still have the memories. I don't have to have this stuff, although sometimes I act like I have to have all this stuff. So, I started collecting Santa-type ceramics. They're not all Santa. Probably 20 years ago, when they were not popular. Mid-century modern had not come back into vogue. Boomers, I am a boomer, I was born in 61, were not collecting with so much vigor. I just noticed there's a little something on my punch bowl here. I'm going to turn around and show you. Oh, that might be a flaw in the glaze. But at any rate, I started picking them up. I picked them up all sorts of places. Goodwill, thrift stores, eBay, when it was inexpensive. Nowadays, you know, at an antique store, I don't know that I've really purchased a lot from antique stores because the value of these things are just exorbitant. And I'm going to share my most valuable pieces. And believe me, I bought them for pennies on the dollar. So one of my favorite items, let me turn you around here. And y'all, I did clean yesterday, but if there's anything out of place, don't get too distressed about it. I purchased this actually off eBay many, many years ago, and it actually has the intact, not glued ladle. It's for show and not for drinking. We do not have punch out of it. Yeah, I got a little something on there. And then I have 6 mugs. A couple of the mugs do have chips. If you could read that, y'all, I'd love it, but I don't know anything about this set other than it looks like K2270, but no stickers or anything that's really going to tell me. I suspect it is maybe a 50s, at least 60s Japanese import, and one of the reasons is because of the slant, and that's no disrespect. That was the way a lot of Japanese makers did the winking eye. So that would be my guess. This, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about. And you're going to find a lot of products that I have that I don't know. But I can tell you, this is probably one of the older. It's so hard to show you things with the ring light. So anyway, that's how I got into it. Woo. You probably don't want to see me that close. So also, y'all, I did not link this sweatshirt because I've been trying to link my shirts, and there's a reason. Y'all, I just typically order a large because I hate tight clothes. Plus, living in Ohio in the winter, I like to do a lot of layers. Here's my pet peeve, and y'all drop me a comment below. Do you have this same problem if you're shorter? I was always 5'4.5". Y'all, on a good day, it might be 5'2", because of all the spine surgeries I've had, plus, you know, gravity, and I've settled a little bit. So I'm really not chubby as much as I am height challenged. But to get a shirt that, in my opinion, is modest at the top, you know, not clingy, I want y'all to look. Like, here's my knee. Well, you still can't see. Here's my knee below the split here. I could pretty much wear this as a dress, and I don't understand why they make things so long. The sleeves aren't long, but the shirt itself is long. But it says, in a world of grunges, be a Cindy Lou Who. So I've been trying to be a Cindy Lou Who. So let me talk to you a little bit about Christmas ceramics, and then I'm going to get to showing you some pretty things. Now, today's video is going to be a little bit longer because I've been trying to vary it up. It's Monday today. This will go up for tomorrow, and I just have a lot to say today. So one of the first things, once I started to amass a bunch of items, is I wanted to know a little bit about Christmas ceramics in general. It wasn't something that my parents had that I remember. I do remember my grandma had some, and that was kind of my history. But yet every time I saw them, it just gave me such a good nostalgic feeling. So let me share with you, if you buy these books, they are considered value books. So if you look in here, it will have, in the red, it'll have a value. But this is by Walter Dworkin, and he is a gentleman that is considered quite the authority on Holt-Howard, which we're going to talk more about. He does a very thorough job. So if you want, you know, you have something that's a 722 AZ1, you sometimes can find the picture of it in here. Do I pay any attention to the values? I do not. I use it more as an identification guide. Now, this was published in 2004, so it's 20 years old. However, the identification is not going to change. The price value, trust me, will change. I really, really enjoy this one. It is fully color pictures. Aren't these cool? Those are actually rock and roll Santa salt and pepper shakers. They are Holt-Howard. I have never seen them in real life. So who is Holt-Howard, and why am I like all about the Holt-Howard? So that was the company that was popular in the US in the 50s and 60s. And it was comprised of 2 Howard brothers, John and another name like John, I forget the other guy's name, and then Grant Holt. And they graduated from college in 1949. They're all gone now. their parents encouraged them to go into their own business, and they gave them $9,000 in 1949. So I did a little Googling, and that's about $117,000 in today's money. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Howard. Would you like to adopt me? I was amazed. So they did start their own business, and each one of the three kind of had a different expertise. One was the finance guy, one was the design guy, one was the sales guy. And they started with Christmas ceramics, and which was widely successful, but primarily they manufactured in the United States. Well, that changed, and now today, and we'll look at some stickers, you're going to see most Holt-Howard that was made, well, that I have anyway, was Japanese made. So it was such a widely well-accepted item that they went into kitchenwares and all sorts of things. And then many other ceramic companies like Lefton, etc., started to mimic. So sometimes I will see on eBay something advertised as Holt-Howard, and I'm like, no, it's not, because I might be somewhat of an expert. There is just a look, a design, a feel to it. And I have much that isn't Holt-Howard, because I would have to be rich to have all the Holt-Howard I want. One of the things that they did go into, let me try to tip you up, is the pixie ware. So this was little condiment jars that had the faces on it, or anthropomorphic, some people call it. So that was kind of their next foray. But for the purposes of today, we're going to talk about Christmas items. So what is kind of sad to me, you know, things change, and I guess that's progress. In 1968, General Housewares bought out Holt-Howard, and they put it under their home dec division of their company. And in 74, by 74, all three of the original owners, the Howards and Mr. Holt, had left the partnership. And then subsequently, there's a variety, but by 2015, all three were gone. So, you know, they lived long, full lives, and they enjoyed their business, I'm sure, tremendously. I mean, imagine starting in a Manhattan apartment and having such wide success that still, 75 years later, is very, very popular. So in addition to my little Christmas collectible guides, and I love to just sit down and look through it, it's so enjoyable to me. This is written by the same feller, is the price guide to Holt-Howard collectibles. Now, I purchased this more for identification, to see what all was out there. Guys, there's so much. And I don't see it hardly ever in an antique store. And if I do, way out of price range. A lot of this didn't survive because it's kind of fragile, number one. And number two, there's large private collectors. This book actually has a section in the back where it talks about some of the different lines that they have. So this is like the snow babies. I don't have any snow babies. Let me show you another. They had a lot of angels, a lot of things that spelled out Noel. So we're going to look at some of those. I don't at all look at the values. I think this is about the same publication date as I showed you on the other. Now, this is 2007, but still nearly 20 years ago. So again, the going price is the going price, and it's never going to be current in these books because it can be very regional. It can be what's in demand. I've talked about Antiques Roadshow where prices go way up, way down, stay the same. So my collection is not for sale. That's not why I have it. However, I will be putting some Post-its on some things. Do not sell at a garage sale, son. So let me get to dusting the shelves here. And then we're going to pull out some of my favorite collectibles. I'm going to talk a little bit about them, and we're going to get this all fancied up. And that's the last thing I have to do to be ready decor-wise for Christmas. So I hope you'll stay. Now, y'all, no fear. I'm not going to show you every mug that I have because we'd be here till next Christmas. But I wanted to show you an example. Yeah, y'all, my shoulder still. Of one of the most pristine sets of Holt-Howard I have. And a lot of times it was pictures with the mugs, and I'll show you the mugs in just a moment. Kind of an eggnog type thing. I've got some candy canes in here. And yeah, I just dropped one on the floor. So if you look at the bottom, you can see stickers had the double H's. This was from 1960, and this actually says 64, best I can tell. But this is fairly pristine without cracks. Now, this time of the year is not the time of the year, where'd my candy cane go? On eBay to be shopping for Christmas. Because I'm going to tell you prices are going to be inflated. I also have the matching mugs, and they still have their original stickers. There you can see the HH. And the printing, it has faded some. 1906 blank. I'm not positive. So I looked at a set on eBay that was in deplorable condition. So the red paint on this is called cold paint. Don't ever put any of your collectibles in the dishwasher. Always use a mild soap. Wash by hand. Don't use any like scrubby pads or anything on it. Just very, very gentle. Because sometimes when you wash, this cold paint will come off. So this particular set had a lot of missing paint, and they wanted $600. Yeah, no. Then there was another one with the picture and then just some random mugs that didn't match. That was $300. Y'all, I can tell you with great certainty, I'm sure I paid under $50 for my set. But again, y'all, much of this I've had for 20 years. And it was just something I fell in love with. It wasn't super popular. It's kind of like playing the stock market. I got lucky. So this guy, I always put up on my top shelf and surrounded by the mugs. And I also wanted to show you, if I can get my arm to cooperate, the mugs like my grandma had. See the little jeweled eye? Now the one she had two blue eyes, so I thought it was made special for me. So I'm gonna get putting some things away, and then as I come across my true Holt-Howard or things that I think are interesting or unusual, I'm gonna share them with you, and then I'll share the final reveal of the whole cupboard. I can't fit everything I own in the cupboard, but I'm gonna try. All right, guys, stay tuned. One of the most unique sets that I have, it is not Holt-Howard. I purchased it on eBay. I thought it was creepy unique. And it is a Santa with very strange eyes picture. Absolutely no markings. To me, it looks like a manufactured piece, not a loving hands at home type piece. And I don't know if y'all can even see. Can you see all the crazings? I would say this is one of the oldest pieces I have. Quite unique. And what's also unique is it comes with its own little shot glasses. And again, none of them have any type of markings. I'm probably going to put that on my bar cart. I'm not a drinker, don't drink alcohol, but you know, it'll festive it up. So that is truly one of my favorites, and it does have the 6 shot glasses. There's a couple little chips, not terrible. And then I wanted to show you what I'm talking about the cold paint. So this is what happens. See the missing red around the top of this? So this is a Holt-Howard, even though it's long since lost all its markings. A lot of them in the little size were candles. And I have, you know, just a variety. I had to laugh because I saw on eBay, rare, all white Santa mug. No, it's not rare. You put it in the dishwasher. So I do have some of the rare all white, not because I put them in the dishwasher, maybe because I bought them at a lot. One of the things I did do is I got quite a bunch at a thrift store that were made by someone with the initials RC. They're hand painted, but you can tell that they're also quite old. So let me get going. Gonna put this on my bar cart, continue to load. Yeah, we're gonna have a great final reveal. All right, y'all. Whew. So one tub emptied of my pictures and some of my more valuable items. And then I have an entire tub, which I can only push with my legs, full of matching cups. So I'm gonna get that arranged. I know it doesn't look like I've done anything, but I have unpacked a lot. So let's start here with another Holt-Howard picture. This one's got, you know, some paint loss at the nose, which is pretty common. Lots of crazing. So if I haven't explained what crazing is, it's just like cracks beneath the surface. You can see it has the red and gold Holt-Howard sticker. And this is one of my olders. It's from 1959. I think it's really neat with the layered beard. Had that for quite some time. Didn't pay a lot for it based on condition. So one of the newest, or the latest, let's say it that way, Holt-Howard is this little cutie patootie. So you can see the style, how much it's changed from a more old-fashioned, traditional look to sort of a cartoonish almost look. And this is from 1967. There is no red and gold sticker, but it does say Holt-Howard Japan. But there's another little sticker on there that says, Party Bazaar, 4439 Lovers Lane, Dallas. So I did purchase this on eBay, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I can't remember where I got every single one of them, but this one's in really good shape. I do have some matching mugs. Let me show you how cute they are. And you're probably wondering, well, do you drink out of them? Why no, I do not. One of the biggest reasons I would not drink from them is I'm not sure if it's a lead-free glaze. You know, we imbibed in a lot of things we probably shouldn't have in the 50s and 60s as far as chemicals. So plus just the wear and tear of hand washing. So I'm perfectly content just to look at them. What I do enjoy drinking out of at the holidays that is perfectly safe are my National Lampoon's Mousse. These are glass. I have two of them, one for me, one for my son. So we do use those. I also wanted to share with you, I had said earlier, a lot of other ceramic or tchotchke manufacturers started copying Holt-Howard. And so this is by Napco. And they even kind of copied the sticker colors. So it's a little boot. And I do somewhere, y'all wouldn't believe how much stuff I have. I have the little boot. Okay, here's my cups that go with. And this one was not expensive. It's not as desirable as Holt-Howard. I mean, I might have paid 10 bucks. One of the things I like to do in the summer is I do like to, not necessarily go to, but just kind of drive by and peruse garage sales. Because if it is in a older plat, I guess you would call it, you know, like where my parents used to live, you can sometimes, especially if they've advertised, you know, Christmas, sometimes you can find things like this. You know, they're like, do you have a quarter? So that's really, really nice too. A couple more Holt-Howard, and this is actually earlier than I would have thought, but this is their nod to Western, and this was from 1959. They're actually candle holders. I don't have a lot of those. I do have a few of the angels, but not a ton of that because Santas have always been kind of my jam. And I found this at like a thrift store, and it is Santa mugs, Christmas party favor for sweets, nuts, cigarettes, or to use as a tree ornament, because we all want cigarettes in our little party favor, right? But it's still sealed. It does not have a price on it. It does say made in Japan. I would not call it Holt-Howard. It's just, you know, a Japanese import, but I think it's so cool because it's in the original packaging. So y'all, I'm gonna start putting some things up. Stop talking so much. And I did pull out, and I am going to save my most valuable for last. They're hidden out of sight of the camera, but I got a whole bucket here I've got to find a place for. I've done some of the upper shelves, but we're going to get to it. All right, guys, see you shortly. All right, y'all, here's the overall effect. Excuse my hair. Got a phone call, so I laid down for a little bit. A couple pieces I wanted to show you. I do have these two little bells that were my grandma's, my Grandma Victoria's. How I ended up with them, can't really get back there to remember, but I'm sure she gifted them to me. And these two boots, I found when I cleaned out my mom's house. There's some damage to the glaze, but they were candles, but she had them stored in a garage area that got hot in the summer. So the most valuable pieces, y'all. And I love them, but I would never pay this for them. So these are the Starry-Eyed Santas from Holt-Howard. This is a 1960. I have 3 of them. Depending on condition, $100 to $200 each. Wait, what? Yeah, no. I got the set of 3, and I believe I got them off eBay. Those I did, because I love the Starry-Eyed Santa. For like, I don't know, maybe 10 bucks. But again, guys, 20 years ago. Another one that I could not find a current price for, it's a candle holder, and it's another Starry-Eyed Santa. I don't know if it ever had a bell in it. It might have, but it still has the Holt-Howard sticker. So I only have one of those. And then this one is another Starry-Eyed Santa, and has partial Holt-Howard sticker, and it's 19. I think it's supposed to say 60. So these are some of the earlier pieces. I love the Starry-Eyed Santas, but they're highly collectible. There is a picture, there's glasses, there's all sorts of Starry-Eyed Santas. But you know, I can sit back now, all my decor is done, and just enjoy looking. When folks come over, they always kind of gravitate towards this because they want to see, you know, all of the different things. I even have, y'all, oh, that's my shoulder. That's hard to say. These just say Japan, but they're actually ashtrays. And I know they're ashtrays because they say ash doesn't have a place for the cigarette. I have the Mr. and the Mrs. Claus. Let me use my good arm to put this up. So just lots of fun. I'll visit this many times through the holiday season. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. This will be the end of my decor. I mean, you'll see it in my videos for sure. But we're going to move on because I have some organizing for the holidays I want to do and share with you. Might be some free printables involved as well. So if you do me a big favor, go ahead and smash that like button. Don't forget to leave me a comment below. What's your favorite piece? It's hard for me to pick. Probably my grandma's bells, believe it or not. It's not even a Holt-Howard, because I would suspect, my grandma was born in 1898. I would suspect they're probably close to 100 years old at this point. So I will see you a little later this week, but until then, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.